So we got the guy with the loud bike. He just pulled up. There he is there. He actually shut off the... Hear it? Now again, it's close to 2 o'clock in the morning. The question that keeps popping up, and you can hear people out here talking. I mean, scream talking. They talk louder than they need to. They're all below me, down to the head shop, all the way up to the hockey store. I mean, this is just becoming a hangout. Why? What is here? What's drawing them here? Weed? It's got to be more than that. I mean, it crescendos, it dies down, then it crescendos loud, and then it dies down again. Then you can hear the music from the car, right? I mean, that's an old folks center right there across the street. Who wants to hear this all night? You'd think the township would have more respect for the older and disabled people. Heck no. These type of people are what got the benches taken out of Pottstown, so now a disabled or old person can't sit down. They have food banks like down at this one church, but it's now being taken over by the crackheads who are looking for a come up. They smoke their checks up on the first, and then they bum the rest of the month. So when a disabled person such as myself, who was legally blind in both eyes and got a multiple array of other disabilities, goes to get something, they're left with black beans and garbanzo beans and just crap. Here he comes, listen. But, they take all the good food, the ravioli, the peanut butter, the milk. Oh, he's being extra quiet tonight. He usually, hauls ass through here, loud as he can possibly get it. But again, now, look at the time. This is time stamped. It's almost 2 in the morning, if it ain't after 2. Yeah, it's 1:49. And it's a Monday night going into a Tuesday. It's not the weekend. This is what I'm talking about. And where is the cops? They're the ones that should be breaking this up. Like I said, they did away with cruising night. Pottstown was the second largest cruising strip in the world, in the whole world. Sunset Strip out in California was the biggest, the longest. This was the second. It made Hot Rods magazine. What did the township do? They shut it down because it was loud. It was where kids would congregate, kind of like South Street in Philly. And it was annoying the neighbors. The cars were too loud, squealing tires, the drugs. So they managed to shut down all the bars. They shut down cruising night, and now you get this. So what have they accomplished? Not really much. You shut down the bars, they have nowhere to go, these youngsters, and here they are. Tailgate parties. But they ain't barbecuing, they're cooking up weed. You can smell it all up and down the block. And if that's the equivalent of a medical marijuana card, I don't get it. I mean, it sounds like half of these people don't have jobs. They don't have no ambition in life to do anything. What would they hang out on a strip in your car? I can see doing this when you go to a ball game or there's a concert playing and you want a tailgate party out in the parking lot. That's one thing. But to make it a gypsy way of life, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And believe me, it's mild compared to what it usually is. I've been living here for 4 months, and I got to sleep in shifts. Like I'll get 2 hours of sleep tonight, and then I'll wait, and they'll wake me up, or I'll wake up and 2 hours in the morning, and then I'll take an afternoon nap, and then I'll take a late afternoon nap to get ready for the night because I know I ain't going to be able to sleep. I just don't know how the old folks over in the center do it. I mean, some of them windows are open. You can see the lights are on in some of the rooms and stuff. But I'm sure they have to hear the squealing tires, the loud music, the screaming up and down the block. And they do it on both sides of the street, not just mine, but it's predominantly over here. Again, between this hockey store and this head shop. And if they would close this hockey store at a decent hour, like 11 or 12 at night, and reopen at 6 a.m., I don't see nothing wrong with that. And it's probably still make just as much money. It would do away with a lot of this hanging out. All these kids would have to go down to Wawa. I think they stay open 24 hours a day, or Walmart. I don't know if Walmart still stays open, but yeah. And like I said, just last week there was a fist fight right here where I'm pointing the camera, right in the street. Well, I wouldn't call it a fist fight. It was an almost fist fight. And believe me, the cops are called here numerous times since I lived here for various reasons. But I mean, even one police car, if he'd come sit here for 20 minutes, you know, like every couple hours, just come and sit here for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. Make his presence known. I think that would scatter them off this corner. And it would show you that if they do scatter, they're up to no good to begin with, because only criminals run when there's nothing going on. I think the Bible puts it this way: an evil man runs when no one's chasing him. So if people scatter, then you know they were up to no good to begin with. Either way, it would quiet down the block a little bit so you can get some sleep. I mean, I'm an insomniac anyway. I have problems sleeping. I have to have loud noise playing in the background, like a TV playing or a radio, to even be able to sleep. And it's how can I say it? It's like a bittersweet thing, I can play a TV, but if there's outside noise, car horns, loud radios, that's not going to work. It has to be noise that I'm familiar with, like I said, like a TV show playing. I always start a movie and then I'll go right to sleep, if I can sleep. A lot of times I have to pass out from just sheer exhaustion or fatigue. Like I'm fatigued right now, but I'm just amped up from all these kids just hollering and coming and going and beeping horns and playing music. There's a how can I say it? There's a little anxiousness because you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? The gunshots, all that. People getting stabbed. Guy was just threatening a guy and his wife out here the other night, like I said, with a gun. He threatened them twice. And a lot of people say, well, why'd you move in there? Or why don't you move to a better... Where are you going to go in Pottstown? Where? 40 High Street, full of drugs. York Street, that's the new drug corridor. The old one stayed the same. It just, it blossomed out. There's overdoses in the motel down there. Where are you going to go? King Commons, shootings, stabbings. There used to be, anyway. They might have cleaned that building out, but I guarantee you there's still drug activity. Bob Larkin's building down here at 538 and 540 East High Street. That has always been a drug haven since Bron Glenn owned it. It was. Ooh, hey, there he is. But it was a drug haven then. It was even worse back then. But they cleaned it up a little bit. There was prostitutes in there and everything like that. It was really bad. But still, I bet you I could count 5 drug dealers and the rest drug doers. There was buyers and sellers living in that building. Finally, maybe he's going to chase him off the block here. But there's nowhere you can go in this town. I mean, unless you move way out north end, and I can't afford, $1,800 or $2,000 in rent money to rent a house out that way, or even an apartment out that way would probably be way too much. Down by the Orioles, 40 High Street, that was a shooting gallery at one time and a crack den. I mean, there's nowhere you can move that's like, I don't want to use the word safe, but like free from drugs or crime or. And Norristown's just as bad. Redding's just as bad. It's just everywhere now. Spring City, Roarsford, the Spring City Hotel. I grew up in Spring City. Just as bad. I lost school buddies that overdosed on heroin down there. So it's just everywhere now. You cannot get away with it. Away from it. You move to the country, and you know what I mean. It's expensive. Definitely a person on disability or a fixed income cannot afford to live out in the country or live out, unless they'd find a super nice, super deal, from a landlord or something like that. An old farmhouse going really cheap. But you'd have to stumble upon that like a mint car sitting in a, you know what I mean, somebody's barn. They are few and far between. And then there's the problems of getting back and forth to the store, doctors, everything else. So it's like, location, location, location. But it's not getting any better here. Well, they seem to have quieted down just a hair now that the police came by. I don't know if that was intentional or somebody called them. I don't know if the cops stopped up the block. I can't really see that far. I don't see no lights on anyway. I mean, police lights. Yeah, it did quiet down. Good. Maybe they gotta stay quiet long enough to fall asleep. And being on the 3rd floor, and being that it's already just turning May, and it was 91 degrees today, so it's hot. I have to sleep with my windows open. I mean, I don't have a fan yet. I just moved in here a couple months ago, and I'm just now getting my crap together as far as even cleaning supplies and stuff like that. I have a broom. I went for a mop today, and I couldn't grab it today, so I got to go back either tomorrow or sometime this week and grab it. But I've been doing my floors with a rag and soapy water, so I got to actually pick up a mop. Oh, Lord. Yeah, there goes the loud music. They ain't leaving no time soon. All right, I just wanted to show this is what it is every night of the week, just about. And again, sometimes, for the most part, they're respectful, and it does quiet down. Don't get me wrong. It's not like super party all the time. There are quiet moments. But like I said, it seems to crescendo or escalate on the weekends, of course. And for a Monday night, this is pretty loud. They hardly ever get this loud during the week. So I don't know if this is like end of the month anticipation for their checks on the 1st. I don't know, but it just seems like there's a lot of teenagers hanging out here now too. I've seen a lot of teens tonight, earlier in the evening. So I don't know if they're hooked on gummies or smoking weed too. I don't know, but I just seen a lot of teams roaming back and forth across the street. These sound like more, I don't know, older adults, like in their 20s, maybe a little younger, a little older. A mixed kettle. Uh-oh, another cop? What the hell? This is another thing they do. You see them illegal U-turns they do? I don't get that. This township has just unflipped its wig. I mean, it's like self-governing. You do whatever you want. That's what it looks like to me. Just don't get caught, or don't piss a cop off to the point where he has to do his job. Like, don't do it in front of a cop. But if you don't see a cop, hey, it's fair game. What is shocking also, because they have cameras on every red light. At every red light, there's a camera, a dome camera that swivels, I think, 360 and zooms in on license plates. Was that the loud guy? Was that the motor guy? He can pedal that bike too. But yeah, I mean, they have cameras and these blocks aren't that long. One camera could probably see all the way up to the other camera. So it's like, I don't know how they miss all this stuff. All the illegal U-turns and the craziness But like I said, they did away with cruise night because it was loud and people would loiter. And I mean, listen, when there was cruise night, there was wall to wall, elbow to elbow people on these streets. It was like South Street in Philly. You couldn't walk down the street without bumping into somebody. That's how many people were here. And of course, the kids loved it. It was something to do on a Friday and Saturday night. And they usually quit around 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. But still, that's. But it was only on the weekends. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they did it. Why? Listen to this guy's bike. He's trying to start it. It wasn't 7 days a week like these kids are doing. Was that him? I don't know if that was him. He was up there trying to start it, though. Oh, there it goes. And you got to hear this thing up and down the street 11 times a night. See if he comes down this way. He really winds it out, too. And this ain't about loud pipes save lives, because you see all these people with dark clothes on. And he usually wears dark clothes. You see, he wasn't wearing reflective anything, right? Nor a helmet. So it ain't about loud pipes save lives. You got a bike path, which pretty much gives you the right of way as a pedestrian. And as long as he's following the, stopping at red lights and stop sign rules and regs, he shouldn't get hit. In other words, that loudness is unnecessary. If you want to be safe, hey, wear a reflective vest, wear something reflective, get some reflective tape, and do your bike up. I say that if he wants to argue, well, the reason I have it so loud is so I don't get hit. Well, stop wearing, a black hoodie and black jeans. And maybe if somebody could see you, they wouldn't hit you. You know what I mean? That's one thing I would improve upon, not, black. That thing stinks. It smells like a lawnmower. I'm just getting a whiff of the, whatever it's probably 2-cycle gas or whatever that gas you mix with oil or whatever. Stinks. But I just don't understand. And he's quiet. I mean, he usually winds that out. There's a road down here, Industrial Highway, off that way. Hear him? And when he's on that road, I can hear him coming all the way down through here. It echoes that far, and that is blocks away. I'm talking like, I don't know, where Old Smith Pies used to be. I'd say it would probably take me 15 minutes to walk there. That's how far away it is. And you can hear him at night just barreling ass down through there. What are these people doing? Yeah, I smell gasoline now and something mixed with it or something. I mean, like strong. Like oil and gas mixed. So they got the music playing in their cars again. And again, it's not that loud here, but there's other buildings down the street where people live there. Above them, you know what I mean? There are residences here. There's people that live in these apartments. And again, that's a halfway house for recovering druggies and alkies. So right there, both sides. I don't know if it's co-ed or one side's girls, one side's guys. I don't know, but I have no idea. I've seen both. It's predominantly guys that I see come out of there, but I've seen a few girls in there. And I don't know if they were workers, therapists. I don't know, but I've seen women come out of there. And yeah, so I don't know, but both sides seem to be the halfway house. I smell. It smells like somebody took a gallon of gas and dumped it on the ground. That's what it smells like to me. Every now and then I'll get a big, huge whiff of it. Whew. Unless that guy with the bike spilled something, I don't know. Trying to fill up his lawnmower engine or whatever he's using on that bike. All right, I just wanted to film it. Just, like I said, Ripley wouldn't believe this shit. He'd fall out of his chair. This town is just going buck ass wild. I mean, it's like something you'd see down Daytona Beach rather than, what do you call it? Vacation resort type place. But it's more, criminally active than it is college kids partying. You know what I mean? I'm sure they have their criminal activity down at Daytona and places like that, but for a small town America, you know what I mean? This is ridiculous. Makes you want to find some woods, a cave, or a farm to live on. Just to get away from it. Cave with running water and cable, electricity. Become one of Herman's hermits. I can't say it right. Anyway, I'm getting tired. All right, that's it. I'm just going to cut it off. I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see they're still going strong. They won't leave till about daylight, probably. They'll be here all night long. And like I said, it's usually weekends it escalates. Weekdays, sparse, but different periods of the day, you'll have this, into the night. It's usually not, this has been going on all night since dusk. Matter of fact, they were here way before that. They were here like 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock out front. So they were here early today, and they stayed. Some of them came and went. And that's what I mean. You hear the horn? I mean, they don't care. I don't care if you're sleeping or trying to. They don't care. All right.